So I finally sat down and watched Marriage Story, the movie that's garnered a lot of critical acclaim and praise, and has been nominated for Best Picture, along with the other slate of movies that I've been working to review over the past few weeks. And it is a great movie, and I had sort of put off, watching this, just knowing that given the story that it's focused on, given sort of the subject matter and the content, inevitably it was going to be a little bit depressing. But like all good art, that doesn't mean it's not worth viewing, right? So Adam Driver and Scarlett Johansson are fantastic in this movie, and especially Scarlett Johansson. I think that, again, not having seen Judy and some of the other films for which Best Actress nominations have come in, it's hard to say definitively that she'll win that award, but she is fantastic in this movie. And we're talking long stretches of unbroken dialogue that's intense at certain times and in certain scenes. But as far as the plot goes, you can probably infer based on the title and based on anything you've read about this, or maybe if you've seen a trailer. It's about a couple living in New York who are going through what initially seems to be an amicable divorce, but it becomes messier inevitably as things go on. And so it's really the story of them sort of working that out and coming to a place where, they can, I would assume, like a lot of people in this situation, be cordial with one another, but also protect their child in so much as possible. And so it's a movie that is by turns very sad, again, as you would expect, but also hilarious. There is a part near the end of the movie, and I'll reference it without being spoilery at all, but it has to do with Adam Driver's character, Charlie, showing someone who's observing his time with his son a little trick that he does with a knife. And I laughed for a minute straight when this sequence or this scene happened. It's really, really funny. And it's kind of a dry, sort of deadpan humor moment. And it's one of those situations that just gets increasingly worse as it goes on over the course of a minute or so. But it's just really funny. So, and I think if anything surprised me about this movie, it's actually how funny it was. And I think if it had been, sort of this nonstop depressing slog from start to finish, it would have been hard for people to become invested in it. On the merit of the acting in the movie alone, it's 100% worth seeing. However, I think one thing that does hold this movie back a little bit is that the setup of the people in the movie, and I'm not necessarily referencing Scarlett Johansson's character or Adam Driver's character, they're the most authentic and believable people in the movie, but sort of their whole situation. He is an up-and-coming, well-known director on the Broadway scene or in the theater scene in New York City. She is a television star and a movie star. It's a little bit pretentious, right? And so I think, given that setup, it can be hard for the average moviegoer to maybe relate to it or to become fully invested in it. And there's actually some other characters in the movie. Laura Dern plays Scarlett Johansson's lawyer, and she does a great job in that role. But again, there's sort of a pretentiousness to that I don't know, maybe it is authentic, I don't know, but again, it makes it maybe not quite as accessible as it would be for the common viewer. But overall, this is a great movie. It's a well-made movie. It's a well-acted movie. Again, on the merit of the acting alone, it's probably going to do fairly well when it comes to the Academy Award. Whether or not it'll win Best Picture, I kind of don't think that it will, based on the other movies that I've seen. I think 1917 maybe is a little more timely contextually and culturally, and so I think on sort of those strengths, it could maybe be sort of a front runner, really, when compared to something like Marriage Story. But it's a great movie. So if I had to score it, I would probably say a 9 out of 10. Again, I really enjoyed it. But if you've seen it, let me know what you think about it. Maybe there's something that I forgot to allude to in sort of my rambling review that I put together here. But I'd love to hear your thoughts. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you again soon.